Good morning, everyone. It's 11:44 on the clock. It just turned 11:45. That's actually the time I was born. At night, not during the day, though. I have my union read for you and the twin flame read for you today. And let's go ahead first and take our deep breaths. I want you to take 3 deep breaths, but really deep. I want you to get that oxygen to every end of your body, your toes, your fingertips, your ears, your crown. Okay, a little bit of turbulence here. Give me 1 second. Let's try that again. Take a deep breath. Take another deep breath. One more deep breath. Sending lots of love and blessings. All right, we're going to roll the die 2 first before I forget to do that. All right, for the twin flames today, and today is June 30th, 2021. All right, so we have Libra. We have Libra here, the number 3. So the Trinity energy, remember Trinity is tri, ni, ty. Tri, a show of power and gratitude. And we also have Neptune here, which is all about that Pisces energy of dreaminess. We have truth and balance with justice, and dreaminess with Neptune, Pisces, and Libra, as well as the 3, which can be the 3 of the Empress. It also could be the 3rd month of March, which again brings in then Pisces and then Aries. And also the 3rd house, which would then be Gemini, which is the twins. So very interesting energy today. And here is the read. This is the twin union read here. The 4D, 5D, and 6D energies. The divine feminine's on the left, masculine's on the right, and the bridge between them, the center. Incoming energy here for the divine feminine, outgoing divine masculine. The underlying energies and the closing energies, the Syrian starseed deck here. And then here is, sorry about that, this is the main read for the twin flame read here. Again, the Syrian starseed deck. And the 7 decks all down and clarified like the read in front of you now, all right, for the twin flames. So for those of you not familiar with the decks or this read, we have the Syrian starseed is the main deck for the read. We also have the Rider-Waite Mini, Romance Angels, Tarot of Sexual Magic, the Numerology deck, the Gilded Tarot, and the Universal Golden Tarot as the 7 decks for the read. Is a lot of energy. It is general for all of the twin flames. Please don't force every message to fit. If you want something more specific, I'd be glad to do a read for you. My information's below, as well as on my website, twinflames3344.com. I also have my CD out there called Ashes, Twin Towers to Twin Flames by Evelyn and Stainthorpe, if you want to check it out. And let's go ahead here with the read. All right, so the energies. I was getting this morning when I woke up the letters T and A, and T was coming up as a dragon energy actually, and the A was coming up as a human. Also PQ, I told you, was something I'd found on my run the other day, like a patch would be PQ, or like a number sheet or a letter sheet where those were the last letters left and it was cut out. But PQ also came up this morning as what was that? It's actually, is it practical? Oh, positive intelligence quotient. But it was also coming up, the PQ is also coming up as the P is the human embodiment of source, the 0, and it's grounded on the left, which is the divine feminine. The Q is the human embodiment of source with the quantum leap, which is that Q little line at the bottom, is the quantum leap from circle to circle. So the divine feminine grounding while the divine masculine's taking that leap of faith. PQ Corporation also came up, which has chemicals for industrial and consumer products, whitening and toothpaste, matted finish on coatings, and removes impurities from beers and edible oils. Not sure why that needed to come up, but it does. Maybe that's for someone specific. So again, performance qualification, priority queuing, practical intelligence quotient all came up for PQ. And again, there was a video for positive intelligence. That was also a book by Shahzad Shamin, his book Positive Intelligence, if you want to check it out. And it has to do with leadership and the qualities you want for leadership and the things you want to avoid for self-sabotage. If you want to check out that book, that was at 11:28 this morning. I actually didn't wake up till 10:28 this morning. I did go to bed late, but not that late. I just feel like I really needed to sleep. I don't know if they were doing some work on me last night. Again, 10:28 is the Wheel of Fortune, 28 is the Twin Flames. The union read here was at 4:24 yesterday afternoon. 4 is the Emperor, 24 is the Queen of Wands. Again for today, which is June 30th, 2021. Today is the energy of the 41, which is the Ace of Cups, self-love, spiritual love, new love, and the 30 of Union. So how beautiful the energy is today. We have the 10 of Wands as the underlying energy, the 3 of Wands as the central energy of the read, and then Reason or the Emperor as the closing energy. So Atlas, leaving the wounded warrior behind, which is the 10 of Wands and the 9 of Wands. So the 10 of Wands Atlas is walking up the stairs, leaving their 9 wounds behind, to just be with that one flame in hand, to be present to flame with open heart, adding fuel to the fire, tossing AI. 10 minus 3 plus 4, rising, which is then 11. I wasn't noticing how I wrote that. 10 minus 3 plus 4 is 11, rising to the light, away from the burden, with a gift for the Emperor, or hearing them out, perhaps Re's son, or Ari, a son. 10 minus 3 equals 7. 10, and here was the energy loop of the fire energies here, going from 10 to 5, then back up to 7, down to 3, and then up to 4, to reasoning. We also have the 10 of completion, the 5-7 of the separation, and the 3-4 is the Empress and the Emperor, to reasoning. Energy waves up and around, cycling. At 4:32, me and you, 4 is the Emperor, 32 is the journey, the downward spiral to the Tower of the Emperor. On sudden realization, the incoming divine feminine, the Wheel, the 3 of Pentacles, and the 5 of Wands, destined Trinity, or TP, or high vibe, and actually toilet paper was coming up the other day. The gingerbread house of co-creation. Be careful around the oven. You may get burned. Heat waves and fans, up and down energy, circular sine waves, and triangles. Up, down, and then I was getting the rolling stone again, the W's and the M's and the E's and the 3's, which is all the same shape, it's just the rolling stone, as well as the S of the sine wave, which is then 2 in the reflection. The rolling stone and me and you. Density and light, heavyweight and featherweight, multidimensional and holding on tight, the high vibe destiny of atom and E. Atom, or atom, with the E energy field, and not only ABCs, but DEF, or DEF too. I was just getting DEF CON. But DEF too, ABCs, but DEF too, a calling that's deafening, to hear, but feeling way through. At 4:39, which is the Emperor and the Knight of Cups. The rainbow bridge destined to come full circle and lock heads and tails. So we've seen this in 2 ways, as the Kundalini snake around the globe, Then sealing when the tail goes into the mouth, and then the color of the rainbow bridge goes into the earth, into the collective to wake them up. But yesterday was coming up, or the day before, was coming up as the snake, being 2 circles, right? One is complete, but the other one needs to seal the deal. The snake needs to have its tail in its mouth, but then there's 2 circles of the twin flames, which is different than the collective, okay? The dance of the twins, locking heads and tails, headway and tails to tell, dragonflies mating heart, and praying mantis, where sex may be against their religion, and upon losing their religion, she bites their head off. 2 processing circles waiting to close, sealing the gap of the crazy 8s, dancing by proxy in co-creating Trinity, try, show of power and gratitude. Thank you, or gratitude and grace of fans. I was getting build it and they will come again right there too. The fans leaving tips by the grace of God, the collective or the tip jar. Build it and they will come. The 4D here is the Knight of Pentacles, the Shadow, and the Ace of Swords. The Divine Feminine Knight of Pentacles, loyal, humble proposal of Greece. The Divine Masculine with truth just below the surface. And then I was getting face, like giving face, like Madonna would say, give good face. So the Divine Masculine with truth just below the surface, face. The dolphin ready for the tip-off to play ball. Deep in their feelings of free flow and gravity less, bridging with shadow, work and play, getting to the heart of it, getting it in the net of no return, because if it returns, it means you didn't get it. Border Patrol bounced you out. You don't resonate with this basket, net, or grid, continuing to dig and dig. The archaeologist saying it's all Greek to me. The 5D here is 7 of Wands, 3 Wands, and 4 of Wands. All Wands here in the 5D of the fire. The Divine Feminine Phoenix rising, which is interesting. The video that just came up, like I told you in the intelligence video, it literally was tagged Phoenix. So Divine Feminine Phoenix rising to tango with flames, Middle Eastern belly dance of no shame. The Divine Masculine home, union, and new castle with moat and bridge with dolphin show in the moat weekdays at 3. Greeting with red and white roses, sunrise and sunset, bridging in the field of dreams, where if you build it, they will come. Magenta versus burnt orange, as far as the field of view, right, on the horizon, the Divine Feminine rising frequency, and the Divine Masculine raising foundation to come home to at 457, which is the Emperor and the 3 of Swords. Fiery 5D and fields of gray, keeping group at bay, and castle wells up. Okay, so the castle well, it's not even the wall. The castle walls are up too, but I was just getting now the castle wells up. And it was interesting because the well came up last night too, where the bucket has come back up from the well. So again, the Divine Feminine rising frequency as the Divine Masculine is raising the foundation, right? One is the grounding mechanism, one is the higher frequency mechanism, right? The 2 gate holders. But sometimes you're switching positions where the feminine is grounding, that came up already, and the masculine then is taking a quantum leap. So she needs to ground at those points. So the Divine Feminine rising frequency, the Divine Masculine raising foundation to come home to, the fiery 5D and fields of gray, keeping the group at bay, and castle walls up, or the castle welling up with the water, right, for the moat. So the 6D here is the 458, the Emperor and the 4 of Swords. The 7 of Pentacles, 4 of Swords is that 5D connection. The 7 of Pentacles, then, which is the Divine Feminine's heart in the E tower, and we're talking about atom and E. The Knight of Swords and the tower, the Divine Feminine's heart in the E tower, lined up at the door. The Divine Masculine working on crystal plan once they're gone. Which is interesting how it was showing a lot of energies coming into the feminine field, and the masculine waiting for those people to go. And yesterday I had all these people in my driveway, because I share my driveway with my next door neighbor, and he was having that tree cut down. So, like the energy around my house was being blocked up the past couple of days. The divine masculine with a sudden event or epiphany or surprise, not expecting to be knocked off the wall by a flash of light and their spidey sense, with more fires to now clean up, bridging with the Knight of Swords, a bubble message to the ethers. The sword and the stone is the tree with a lot of ancestry.com to tell, which is so weird. I just told you a tree was getting taken down next door, or at least a lot of the branches. I don't know if he took the whole tree down. So as above, so below, the roots, much like the branches, in random order reaching out from its source. So the divine feminine here is the pure proposal with diamond light to rise above the drama and fall back into her heart, fending off all others, knowing the one, but if she catches him again outside, she might just drag him in against his will, grace, or testament. The E-tower reaches above 6D, sending an SOS, or SOAS, or SO2, which is oxygen, or SOAS moment. SOAS is the muscle that catches all your fight or flight as a baby, the muscle of fight or flight with malabsorption and a need of oxygen to release it. Or in other words, when you release your psoas muscle, you focus on exercises that stress that muscle so it can release. So you may get stressed out in order for you to release or cry or purge, however you're going to express that, to release stuck energies that have welled up inside of you with a rebel yell or an outpouring of tears. The divine masculine, to tell the truth, is dolphin's play, not child's play, Lemurian wisdom and Shasta kingdom, a volcanic eruption of massive proportion. Spidey got across the moat and got caught trying to scale the writing on the walls, which also can be writing music, right, with scales and the lines there. So again, Spidey got across the moat and got caught trying to scale the writings on the walls with eyes of Laura Mars, Laura Eisenhower, and Mars refugee camp for troublemakers at Earth School. The real bad boys. What you gonna do, bad boys? At 513, which is the Hierophant energy and the transition or death card. And it's so weird because I was just, the Bad Boys movies. My daughter actually got a part in one of those movies, and then right before, they'd done all the paperwork and everything, and right before she was supposed to come in to shoot, they canceled the scene. So it's funny that Bad Boys is coming up. At home, shocked by the truth, Dolphin has the rule book and hid underwater for play-by-play. The bridge here is the shadow gifts with upliftment of the 5D heart to flame, and the 6D Knight of Swords passing the word, paying it forward, a defense mechanism or dark gift in a message or letter, right? So it's, again, if you get something, it's a defense mechanism of the twins to give it away because you're not feeling worthy of receiving the gift. So it's always giving to others. As soon as you get something, you want to then pass that to somebody else as opposed to reaping the rewards of that gift. The 516 is the Hierophant and the Tower. Again, there could also be a dark gift in a message or a letter. So, don't believe your eyes all the time. Feel into it. Does it feel? Is it resonating with you that it's true? The outgoing divine masculine here is the 6 of Pentacles, the Page of Swords, and the Page of Cups. Being asked for a handout. The Page of Swords and the Page of Cups. Obviously could be 2 children there. This also could be 2 messages, one being very loving and one being very much about communication and talk and messages and truth. One with light and one with heart. One in the cold or likes the cold, and one making a splash. Wanting to going forward or waiting to go forward to make a difference this time. It's like children wanting to change. They actually found something they believe in and they want to make a difference in this world. And again, they may have watched the movie Pay It Forward and may have been inspired to help others, to make a difference this time, or bring gift to Emperor within reason, or to the logical man, which then Supertramp comes up. So there could be someone who's who was behaving like a supertramp. There are times when all the world's asleep, the questions run so deep for such a simple man. Won't you please tell me what, and I swear that the words used to be, tell me what to know. But it says in the lyrics, from AZ Lyrics anyway, please won't you tell me what we've learned, but I swear it's what we know, what to know. Please tell me what to know, and then I know it sounds absurd, and I swear that's the way it used to run, but I could be wrong. Won't you please tell me what we've learned? I know it sounds absurd. Please tell me who I am. The little woman doling out to charity and children, while logical man of reason puts another limb on the fire. And that again, there's a reference to the family tree, right? The limb or branch. It also could be false limbs, like if somebody has a false arm or a false leg, or also just developing new technology, artificial intelligence, as opposed to natural intelligence. But remember, which just came up this morning too, it's hard to understand the discernment between something organic and something not organic, because everything in our world is of source and creator. So if you mix two things that were natural, it's still natural, it's still of creator. So it's kind of an interesting thought there. So let me know what you think about that. So 524 is the Hierophant and the 24 of the Queen of Wands. And then the gray was coming up as the GREA, the gray herd, with 3 offices and 3/5 of the flames, okay, which means more than half. This is the controlling factor. And here we have the gray herd coming up. The gray with 3 offices or 3/5 of flames, controlling shares. The great tree, San Antonio, Texas was coming up here with 3/5 options. Also New York B&B, the great escape. The 3 that got away, the tunnel called Harry, and that was in the war, where 3 people, a whole bunch of people tried to escape, but only 3 made it through. And they made it through the tunnel Harry. So the word gray, Grae, which this is 2 ashes, GR, plus 2 ashes, AE, that symbol when they're mushed together is the ash symbol. And ash also in Pleiadian language, according to Elena Denon, is light. So the light, the 2 lights here, the twin lights of the GR, and I was just getting God and Ra, but also I was getting the Galactic Federation for some reason. And the ray of ash, the ray of light, right? So it's God's ray of light, literally. How do you like that? But the GRAEAE is actually the 3 old women, because the 3 were coming up here. The 3 gray ones, or gray witches. It was spelled different ways as well. It was spelled GRAIAI also, as opposed to AEAE. Again, referencing artificial intelligence. Also, gray sisters, or Porsides, daughters of Porses, or Porses, and that has to do with the gods of the sea. So 3 sisters who shared only 1 eye and 1 tooth amongst them, so they would trade it off when they needed an eye or a tooth. They were Dino, Ennio, and Pemfredo. So Dino meant dread, Ennio meant horror, or a waste of cities, or a waster of cities, right? Because they were going to create havoc. And then Pemfredo was alarm. They were considered fair-cheeked and swan-shaped, which has been coming up a lot for the twins lately. But again, considered the witches because they have powers, special powers. So the gray, GREA, means group or herd, or gray, GREY. And then Gratham came up, like great and ham, which means village or civil parish in 3 different districts in England. So being good at crystals, which is also Christ-like or crystals, purging the shadow with truth, or acing blind men and orphans, which is a definition of orbs. 6 of CI, seeker, which is CI, seek. And Elena Denon always talks about the bad guys as the seekers. So they were coming up right here. The 6 of seekers. Also the kicker of the human Page of Cups, which is the innocent human, the dolphin shoving the Page of Cups out of the water on a dolphin ride. So you know how when you visit the dolphins, you can get the dolphin to push you guys up out of the air in the water, out of the water. Well, the dolphin is waiting underneath the water in the union reed. And now here is the child being pushed up out of the water to fly and, you know, splash and play. The dolphin shoving the Page of Cups out of the water, or dolphin ride, perhaps no more mountains or Florida as money is low or tight. She tells as he lights the fire, there's no vase for the flowers, right? So that's from the song, I'll light the fire while you place the flowers in the vase you bought today. So there's no vase because money is short. And perhaps you can't take the kids to Florida, to Disney World, or you can't take them to the mountain resort, perhaps for the dolphin ride, whatever that be for you. But it's also allowing the innocent ones to come out from underneath their emotions and make a splash and have fun just by swimming in the water, or following their, or playing with their emotions, right? Doing the shadow work. And we culminate this read with the 46, which is the 6 of Cups, the children in the garden loving each other, whether it's the inner children of the twins, the outer children of your children loving each other, but the innocence of the child. And we had Divine Feminine with Libra on her side, as well as in her heart, and the Knight of Pentacles, which is the loyal, humble servant. On the Divine Masculine side was Scorpio and Aries, which is much more aggressive energy and focused on the home, the feminine on the heart, the masculine on the home, and the masculine with the Page of Swords and the Page of Cups. So the horizontal pillars came out to 17, 14, and 15, which is the Star, the Temperance card, or the angels, and then the Devil. So we have the stars of the angel and the devil, right? The two sides of the same coin, right? God's angel and God's devil. They're all of their children. The 6 of Cups, they're all the innocent ones. And then the vertical pillars of the 10, 3, 5, 14, 3, 5, and 6. The Wheel, the Empress, the Hierophant, the Temperance, the Wounded Warrior, and the Lovers, again leading into that 46 of the 6 of Cups, the soulmates, the past life partner. The one, the Wounded Warrior, so the energies of the stars, of the angel and the devil. And I always think of and now I can't think of the name. Oh, that's crazy. It's the first time I couldn't retrieve that name. Oh, Animal House. I couldn't think of it. So, you know, the angel and the devil and Animal House, one on each shoulder, which was always such a funny interpretation of that. But the innocence of the kids, you know, these are college kids, you know, being stupid, right? But it's all about their learning process and being their natural selves and opening up, right? Because you all want to go get drunk in college so that you can be not stressed and not afraid to express who you are. But again, then being in a total drunken state doesn't mean you're acting exactly who you are either. Because then there's an over-exaggeration there the other way. So it's about the moderation, you know, how to bridge the gap between your true self without stepping on other people's feelings, you know, and hurting others. So we have the Wounded Warrior with the Temperance and the Wounded Warrior. Again, in the other direction, Destined Empress and Hierophant, patient with the Wounded Warrior Lovers, the 6 of Cups. Also destined, the Wounded Warrior, Angel, patient with Empress and the Hierophant, Lovers with the 6 of Cups. Or Destined Wounded Warrior of a higher love, along with the Wounded Warrior Lover, right? It's like the lower heart and the higher heart, making the 6 of Cups children, right? The high heart and the low heart merging together. That there's only really one heart with the third energy here. The fair-cheeked and swan-shaped. The 3 gray. And then gray is a measurement of radiation as well, right? The rays from the sun. The Trinity, again, the 3 rays is the Trinity. Show of power and gratitude. So then we go to the Syrian Starseed deck for the Twin Flame read at 558, which is the 5 of the Hierophant, the 58 again of the 4 of Swords, the connection in the 5D between the masculine and the feminine. I finished completing this read at 6:18 to 19, which is the moon and the sun and the six of the lovers. The sun and the moon and the six of the lovers, right? Reflecting each other, one reflecting the other. Reflecting ascension and alchemy in the underlying energies. After the read was shadow, which is the devil, guidance, which is the Hierophant, and then transition, which is the death card, and alchemy is the magician, and then reflection is the hermit, and ascension is the world. So they all need a definition there. But reflection and ascension, or Virgo and Pisces, which are on each other's axis, were coming up as the main signs in the read here. We have the three, and again, remember that Virgo to Libra is the midpoint in the cycle, and then Pisces is the bridge to the other side. So there's a very important energy there on this axis. So we have the Three of Pentacles, the Two of Cups, the Two of Swords, and we had three Pentacles, 2 Cups, 2 Swords, and 2 Wands. So 3, 2, 2, 2, very well distributed. Plus we have the 2, 2, 2s, 3 2s in a row is a lot. Again, of that feminine energy, of the one-on-one energy, the mediative energy. And the Queen of Cups and the Knight of Swords came up. Excuse me. Queen of Cups and the King of Swords and the Knight of Pentacles. Those are the 3 main characters here. We also had the Nine of Wands, or the Wounded Warrior, show up in the read, as well as the King of Wands coming in after the read. Right after the fact. But we're dealing with the Queen of Cups and the King of Swords. The numbers in this message were a lot of double numbers here. We had double 4s, 5s, 8s, and 10s. So 45 came up together, which, I just told you the clock started at 11:44 to 45. So 45 is that 5 of Cups, of grieving, loss, regret, and letting go of the past, the process through that. We have the double 4s of the mastering, grounding, integrating of love, the 55 of the truth, the Excalibur, the Ace of Swords, the 88 of the 2 twins dancing side by side between their own masculine and feminine to become independent, so then that they can merge into that third flame. And then 8, 9, 10 begin again and again and again comes up, as well as double 10s, which is again keeping that energy in a very high vibration, which is the 1-0 trill. So 8, 9, 10 begin again. We also had 34 of the 8 of Wands, the energetic exchange, the 57 of the 3 of Swords, the separation or disappointment, heartbreak or heart issues, the 78 of the end of the deck, which is the culmination, the 10 of Pentacles, which is that dream family, heaven on earth, and then 58 of the 4 of Swords, the 5D connection, and 810, which is 0 behind 81, which is the end of karma around the world, which is basically representing the Kundalini sealing around the world, where the tail then goes into the snake's mouth. The code line here is all about spirituality, but it was broken up into spiritu and ality. And here are the messages that were coming up around that. We have the word Seth and Seft were coming up, as well as FTT, which can be failure to thrive, as well as INE, which is also in E, as we're talking about atom and E. In E is in the divine feminine, is the 4 to the 5. E is 5, 4 is the emperor, the water, the I, the jaguar, the in, INN, and the him, right? The in, and always comes up as the happiness hotel, like in the Muppets movie, right? The place where everyone wants to go, but it's a mess, right? So, and of course there's Gonzo jumping out of the plane. Whoopee, right? I love the Muppets. My son used to know all the words to everything. Like, he's got one of those photographic memories. And he had such a good time watching all that stuff. Not to mention the first movie, the Muppet movie, seeing Kermit in the lily pond and then Kermit riding a bike gave me such joy I cannot express to you. It was so much fun to see those things for the very first time. I think that was a first date too, where I saw the Muppet movie from high school. So the messages that came up here around spirituality were to see, again, see is always with your eyes, with the emotions of your ocean, and the C of the letter C of the Christ or unity consciousness. The CCC, the 3 C's, the Trinity, try, show of power, and show of gratitude, showing with your eyes, seeing with your eyes and your emotions, your feelings, and with your unity vision here of unity consciousness. And doing that by expanding and contracting, a time to interact, and then time out for the 8 break dance with the Queen of Cups ascending to I, him, the jaguar, the water, or the inn. Remember, the jaguar lays in the tree and wait, kind of like the crocodile, very patient and waiting to pounce. Also, the safe box or strong box comes up, a safe haven for troubled teen industry. The key of the fluffy dance of the Queen of Cups ascending to the 4 of spirituality. 4 is also stability and structure, and the Emperor, right, within reason. Softly, and that always makes me think of Elton John and softly, slowly, tiny dancer, right? So tiny dancers coming up softly to utter a sigh, the source key to manifest survival, and then your dreams, right? 4 is manifestation on a survival level in this world, so people with 4s are really good at getting jobs and all that kind of stuff. But the 8 is going beyond that, going through to the 7, which is the calm before the storm, going within, being hurt or injured or ill, being forced to be on your back, to connect with your body and go within. Then being able to manifest your dreams at the 8, the Queen of Cups world, in E, spirituality, in him, spirituality. We are the happiness hotel. The sudden event of the foot being the source key for dancing. Remember, the foot has a soul in it, right? Also pads and an archway to the soul with padding in case you fall, right? Wanting to jump like an angel to fly off into the ethers. The sudden event, or seeing the foot, sudden event or epiphany again is that tower energy, southeastern as well. The foot is the source, right? In the southeast, everyone walks around in bare feet because it's warm out. The foot is the source key for dancing, doing the dance between the masculine and feminine. The Queen of Cups ascending to the I am that I am in him. The I in him, HM. And again, H is the lap dance. It's the 2 4s together that become the 8 in the 5D, right? So the lap dance becomes the standing dance or the stand-up routine. And then the M in him is the rolling stone. It's the M, that's the W, that's the E, that's the 3. The rolling stone and the lap dance. And then the going into the 8, which then becomes the upright dance, perhaps the do-si-do of the dance between each other, and then the closing of the doors, right, to seal it off, to seal the deal. And this is big, giving Carrie the ring the second time, because he needed something to seal the deal. So we have, and Spirit's connecting with me. It's making me want to cry, actually. Ooh, sorry, it was just really high energy. It went really like way up. It's like, here's gamma, so all of a sudden it goes like that. And then also the meaning for 100 meters came up as I broke down the words spirituality in spiritu and ality. So spiritu is air, breath, spirit, ghost, energy, courage, pride, and haughtiness. And then, of course, ality is just what it looks like. It's all eyes have it basically with gratitude. All eyes in gratitude. All eyes, right? Seeing with your eyes, seeing with your C, seeing with your letter C, in gratitude. So coming up is Ali, right? So you have Ali in ality, or you can reference it as all I, T-Y, which is thank you or gratitude. But Ali has a lot of different definitions, including reptile. So listen to these definitions, because in a lot of the definitions that you look up in Wiktionary, there's a lot of opposites within the same definition. Again, balancing between the different languages around the world. There's always a balance. It always comes out whole. Just like you project your personality, the rest of the whole is in your subconscious. You're always whole. You just don't see the other half of you, the subconscious part, the wounding that needs to come up to be seen, which is then how you become more whole and whole and whole in your consciousness by doing the shadow work. You follow me? So the ally definition was reptile, supreme. So remember this, the definition is spiritu and ality. So spiritu is the breath or energy or spirit of all of these, the reptile, the supreme, the higher, high tail quality, the property, the characteristic of nature, beneath, underneath, the hole that's sunk into the ground as a source of water, or well, the well springs eternal, the wing which flies up in the air, the younger sibling, or the man, the king, the holy as in cherished, as opposed to the holy in the ground, the child and the baby, there, but, however, or if or either, the energy of the reptile and the child, the higher and the beneath, the nature and the well, the king and the holy, heads or tails, all in gratitude of all that is, or energy of TU, tuality, instead of duality. Duality has dual, but tuality has tool, which can be a beautiful decoration, or perhaps someone who's being a tool, but its actual definition is the towel, throwing in the towel, or in other words, conceding the fight instead of going through with the duel. So the reflection here is reversed of the hermit. Beneath the reflection, beneath it all, the inner work, because the reflection is reversed. This is the over-isolation, the going out of your mind, the need to see that you're not mentally ill. You're coming out with a new perspective. Beneath that is the 7 of Cups and the 5 of Cups upright, the 10 of Cups reversed, alchemy upright, and then 3 of Cups reversed. And alchemy is the magician, is the temperance card rather. So we have synchronicities here and steps to take, the stairway to heaven, the grieving of loss, regret, guilt, and shame. Of the 10 of Cups reversed, an emotional cycle so over, with a higher love of joy and reunion, with the hermit reversed, coming out to find peace, away from over-isolation, and standing up for self, taking the high ground in energetic exchange under the radar, or failing on the other end. One up, one down, one standing their ground and one off the wagon. The needing for attention and trying to get rid of attention, both at the same time, again, the two polarities. The hermit reverse coming out of hiding now that the worst is over. Depressed or arrogant, falling first time out, at war or defensive ending, with the King of Wands reversed and the hermit reversed here. Right, the fall of both. The hermit, whose natural being is to be alone and be wise. So it's not natural for the hermit to come out. The King of Wands reversed is the opposite. It's natural for him to be the man of passion, right? To be the man, to get lots of attention, right? And here now he's reversed, going within. The going crazy in bliss, with the leak in the ceiling and the Battle of Normandy, taking down the field due to leaks. The first time the King of Wands reversed has lost a battle and is tired of reflecting. The Page of Cups reversed, rejected, or the Queen of Pentacles reversed, or baby crying in bliss of secret passion. It's like, crying like a baby, which is the purging process. At 708, which is the Chariot and the dance of the 8, the inner and outer strength, the storm, where the 7 is the calm before the storm, which combines into the 0 point field. The graveyard of Christmases past, the rejection of ungrounded, and worst being over, of the pain of not having used your intuition, which, remember, intuition is in twit ion, in twit connection, and twit is the twin towers with you and I in the middle. Okay? Forgiving and learning, don't forget to make the effort. that the crybaby is now pushed out of bed, right? The one who's been purging, it's not calling anyone names. It's a play on words. They're metaphors. The crybaby, unless you have a baby at home crying their butts off, the crybaby is now being, and this also could be, children or adults who refuse to wake up are now being pushed out of bed. So the crybaby is being pushed out of bed. The Knight of Wands to the rescue, with the truth aside, finding peace, making love under the radar down by the riverside. Or a rescue attempt with CPR, attempted suicide due to rejection. The Knight of Wands rushing back to the rescue from the fire and making mad, passionate love. My hero, forever loyal then to their savior at 7:15, which is the Chariot and the Devil. Right? So now they owe them their life, right? Which isn't that the fairy tale? So we have personal growth here with number 7 in the Chariot, and beneath that, time out, which is 37 of unconditional love, the King of Cups. Uncomfortable in energies, being in disconnect or at a distance. The Hermit is upright, getting their wish, happy with themselves. Deception until death do us part. And again, this is the vow of marriage. Deception until death do us part. Death and dark night, transition, Scorpio holding tongue and or lashing out, with Virgo upright, Cancer reversed, and Scorpio upright here. Refusing to surrender until death, right? I made a vow, to a fate worse than death. Or in other words, lying to oneself. The dark cello and the dark violin came up a long time ago, and I wrote a poem about the sleeping violin. The dark cello up before dawn with 30 lashes, or just one good one, or one for good measure. The Knight of Swords reversed, silent or abusive, not reflecting nor going crazy, coming out with the King of Wands reversed in a secret passion under the radar with personal growth or secret pregnancy from a role in the burning hay. And I'm getting heyday and hay in general. So people there can come up regarding hay. So the recent past is the King of Swords reversed, inspired by wounded warrior, without options, but to end an emotional cycle of unhappiness and find self-satisfaction and not be afraid to tell family how it is, even if they feel badly. On a break, on a rest, meditating, praying, the 5D connect and freeing them to leap and move without option. The underlying energy here of praying for them, but the Queen of Cups rather is unaware, moving to peace but blocked from moving onward. Recovery from the, it's like going forward after this read is the recovery from the heartbreak or separation or the heart issues, the frustration of the Knight of Pentacles upright, the loyal humble servant, and the Dark Knight, right? The Death card, the Dark Knight, but in his Dark Knight, walking over everything, standing in his truth adamantly, even if it's harsh. The Knight of Pentacles upright along with the Dark Knight, walking together forward boldly, offering help to come clean or clean up the actor's space, with the Queen of Cups reversed, released by letting go to fix or mend under the radar of higher love, co-creating by working together on the same team. The foundation here is the Ten of Swords reversed, where the worst is now over of the Page of Swords, stepping up and spreading the word about coming clean or cleaning up the act. We have the King of Pentacles, the King of Cups, the Page of Pentacles, and the King of Wands all reversed, all in a row. It's like, I'm done with this, right? This is either really negative energy or everybody's unhappy about something. The central energy here is the Five of Pentacles reversed, which is the Hermit in exile here, recovering from the Ten of Pentacles, family or business or community dysfunction or the world, and the Queen of Swords upright, speaking to the Knight of Cups reversed, in rejection or jealousy of the Dark Knight, burdened by an announcement or slave to their alarm, finding peace, taking the Hermit home, challenged by the Queen of Cups reversed synchronicities or steps to the Divine Feminine's heart, the Queen of Wands wanting closure about the Divine Feminine in the 5D synchronicities and their options. At 7:36, which is the Chariot and the Atlas energy of the Ten of Wands, the weight of the world upon your shoulders, the defensive end taking down the field and uncomfortable in the energies and still defending, not leaving, letting go to fix or mend, perhaps with kids or pets out of control, in need of sunshine or vacation, or there is no sunshine when she's gone. The Page of Swords upright and the Page of Cups reversed, temptation of innocent love, with new information of the wounded warrior connecting with Capricorn, who's hanging out, working to align with a losing battle or ending it while things are slow in the downturn. And now in the crowning position is the wounded warrior with a message. The Knight of Wands upright rushing back, right? The running back I was getting. The Knight of Wands upright rushing back. So we have the defensive end and the running back, which is the Knight of Swords and the Knight of Wands, who love to play together. The wounded warrior with a message, the Knight of Wands upright rushing back to reap rewards of a higher love or divine feminine's heart, the patient angel, unable to sleep or awake and coming out and reaping rewards of the family tree, but now frustrated and uninspired, as the Knight of Pentacles upright, that humble, loyal servant, offering help to end the battle or conflict with temptation, the devil, the ball and chain. I was getting chai here too. Maybe someone's addicted to chai tea or something. So conflict with temptation, the devil, or the ball and chain, or Capricorn waving, hello. Magician's upright is hangry and perhaps yelling at kids or taking it out on them or snapping. Or after spying and not burning the past with big love at work, right? Not having expressed their feelings, then they end up taking it out on others because they explode. Moving, visiting, ending marriage for Six of Cups upright, clarity in breaking patterns and getting their ducks in a row, with the King of Swords reversed lying to themselves. The King of Swords reversed lying to themselves, cracking the vault of the wounded warrior who's been sweetly judging him. The weak Empress reversed, recovery to start over, or Leo reversed and Taurus reversed and Aquarius upright here. Soon here is the Eight of Cups reversed with family cover-up, right? And not walking away. And why there was no walking away or leaving. There was a family cover-up here of the Ten of Cups. Seeing synchronicities and hanging out at work with the Magician, divorced at present, depressed by the truth or giving the truth to or about lovers, the King of Pentacles reversed, emotionally unfulfilled, the twin flames seeing themselves as the Four of Wands reversed, which is that unstable energy of being dumped or in the dumps or pushed to their emotional limit through release, sharing, or settling out. In the aftermath of long-term suffering and silence and or sexual abuse or frustration, not being aroused, no funny bone here, unable to understand it all, withholding time, money, and effort from the sovereign reversed, or dependent, or powerlessness, destined to come together in joy. Moving, visiting, where the party's now over, or a marriage is over. There's heart-to-heart conversations, which is coming up this show, heart-to-heart, but also the two H's, which are the two 3D lap dances, heart-to-heart conversation, and very soon. Around the twins, or how they're seen, is the Eight of Pentacles. So here we come up from the lap dance to the 8, which is the higher octave of the 4-4, which is the 8. The stand-up dance. The Eight of Pentacles, working with crystals, free to leap from verbal abuse or silence or confidentiality agreement. Lovers broke or broken, broke up, broke down, broke in, out, or through. The chaos of the Emperor reversed, out of control, in abuse or stepping down due to aging with issues. The block here being ascension reversed, that the world can't be fixed, right? That's the block. With the truth about deception and broken hearts, right? How can we get past this? Spirituality comes up here, but even more so, and here's that high vibe coming up again, is about love and teaching and learning, because we're human, we're not supposed to be perfect. We're not supposed to try to hurt each other either. But you notice there's a lot of older twins, because they had to experience their whole life this time to even get to the place where they could be in that type of forgiveness, because they understand from having had all of that life experience. So love is a very high vibration here, as well as teaching and learning, on top of spirituality. Peaceful lovers released from energy vampiring. The Knight of Pentacles proposing something, a decision, an announcement, a wake-up call to action, about the Two of Cups and the Queen of Cups reversed in the 5D connection, who was hung out to dry while he was working to end conflict in the downturn, offering to help with shadow work to recover and start over without outside guidance, coming off the island to self with transition of divorce, or the King of Wands reversed with justice, divorce, or Libra at 757, which is the Chariot and the Three of Swords. The separation, the heartbreak, the disappointment, the heart issues. So at 757, the Hermit's going crazy, or somebody with Virgo in their chart, coming together with Patient Angel, Sagittarius, or alchemy, or a chemical process, and ending the pain in order for bliss by visit, instability, and or working to align. The King of Swords reversed, Hermit recovering from exile of the group, or recovering the Divine Feminine Hermit from exile, and challenged by the Queen of Cups reversed, uncomfortable, leaving, with the world upside down, or Pisces upside down, or the Divine Feminine in the 5D world, and the Wounded Warrior, Knight of Pentacles, proposing Capricorn to divorce and come in off the island to self in transition with the King of Wands reversed and Justice, which is justice, divorce, or Libra energy there. And by the way, I watched the 4400 last night, which is all about a bunch of abductees who came back to Earth all at different timelines. And that I started watching that at 8:08. So there's your 8:08 of Lionsgate and the dance between the twins. But remember, 8:08 has space between them. There's that space between them and the abductees of the movie of 4400. And there's that 44 of the lap dance again. A grounding and integrating and mastering of love on the 3D side in order to cross the bridge to the 8 and the 8. The 4400 at 8:08. Capricorn upright, Taurus, Leo reversed, Aquarius upright, Libra both upright and reversed here at the end, and Scorpio upright. Now, not reflecting here, or no longer reflecting, or no longer wanting to reflect anymore, or be over-isolating, the King of Swords reversed, and the Knight of Swords, holding their tongue and or lashing out or lying to the death, which again, till death do us part, a painful one, where the worst is now over. Now the bliss of recovering the Hermit from the Mary Magdalene cave, and challenged by the Queen of Cups reversed, the Wounded Warrior and instability, the moving and discomfort of refusing to leave, working to get their ducks in a row with Upside Down World, or with the Divine Feminine in the 5D, the Knight of Pentacles Capricorn offering to connect, but the Queen of Cups reversed with their world upside down, the Knight of Pentacles divorcing, or with divorcee, starting over in death, or transition of the King of Wands reversed, and justice prevails at 8:05, which is Greased Lightning, 8 and 5. 8 is the power, the strength, the manifestation, the dance. The 5 is the quickening. It's the Hierophant, the change, the expansion, the freedom. So we have the power and the quickening, which is basically like lightning and thunder and Metatron and Michael. they wanted me to plug them there. And then I did a quick mini read with the Lenormand Reverie deck, and I was shuffling the deck, and the first card came out at 9:18, which is my birthday again, and it's not plugging my birthday, it's just referencing the Divine Feminine and the alignment, right? Because your birthday is your #1 alignment, right? The day you were born. So again, and I told you the time that I was born. So there's a reason Spirit's bringing that up. It's not for my birthday, it's for our alignment to our true selves, right? The time of my birth and the date of my birth, the 11:44 to 45, and then the 9 and the 18. The underlying energy came up as the sun, which is sunshine, full energy, exposing all. But also the first card out was the loving lady, right? The woman of heart, like the Queen of Cups. So locked up in an institution, which can be your own home, right? Or locked up in the institution of marriage, or cracking codes with a directive. So some may be locked up in, right? Your parents may be locked up in an Alzheimer's institution, or a nursing home, or a jail, whatever it is for you, at your work, okay? locked up in institution or cracking codes with a directive, the twin bridges still standing with cross to bear on the ride of life with good luck in delivery at mid-moon, home by spring, challenged. And mid-moon references we're in Cancer season right now. So the mid-moon of Cancer season came up July 1st and July 17th as significant. But like I told you the other day, the astrological report was coming up as a lot of squares that first week, so it's better to aim for the 17th for things that you want to do or risks you want to take. So in delivery at mid-moon or delivered home by spring, so this could even be starting to build a house, which may be completed by then, or coming together with your union, where it then culminates by spring. Challenged by a letter made public, a spiritual secret, and the 5D connection, cut off by Mother Bear, pushing them in the well, or pushing them to dig deep and take a gamble to break through the great white hope of the power man, right? The great white hope of the family, of the world. The star under scrutiny about their gifts, or about a gift that they got or gave someone. Flowers, or perhaps a gift that they received, which is now eating him up. All that time that they were loyal to them. Wanting to go with fox, willing to follow the fox, cracking the whip with child, committed to free themselves to the funhouse, or child bride with a key to the masks of the snake, the masked man, which again, all our superheroes are masked men. They cover themselves up, right? Superman, Batman, Spider-Man, whoever it is, they all wear masks because they're not being their true self. They're afraid that, something bad will happen to them if they show their true selves. So the needing to choose the path and anchor down for abundance in a time machine with loving man, with family tree and multiple timelines in a maze, with wise owls advising two swans at home, or about their union with power women tweeting in numbers. So that was a really cool message there. I just wanted to share that with you. And I did a second one too. I might as well share this one with you as well. This was last night at 9:45. The underlying card came up as close examination, right? So the magnifying glass. And the first card out was the coffin or the tomb, but it's like the Four of Swords or the 5D connection. But also the archaeologist in this deck, the 5D connection across the timelines, right, of the digs from way beyond. The distant travel or spaceships, right? So we go way back and way forward to see the loving man at home with the power lady, right? That it's okay for the woman to be in power. Sometimes maybe the loving man will support them. And the polar band, I don't know if that comes up as something for you guys. The polar bear pushing them in a well in order for them to hit bottom, right? So the polar bear is that mother type of energy, or the powers that be, because it's that strong arming energy of pushing them in a well in order for them to hit bottom, in order to find peace with serious conversation or spiritual advice exposed, or energizing good luck with delivery and rebirth, and separating the wheat from the chaff in public waters. Perhaps there is tainted water here that needs to be outed and cleaned, or finding abundance, and again the tainted water is your emotions, and finding abundance by cracking the whip with rod and staff, which is also music here, taking a risk with the twin path, with hope for child and power man, with loving lady following her true north of twin bridges to powers that be, the loyal friend, the pup with the fox, leading them to the gift or the cross to bear, the family tree, a maze of commitment to 0 point, commitment to the child that's gnawing at him, right, his inner child, with time passing too quickly at the mid-moon, the Cancer season of tweets and talk, cracking codes of the institution, right, outing the man, the mountains to climb, with the key to freedom on the merry-go-round, right, you have to grab the ring on the way around, the 0 point. The key to freedom on the merry-go-round with crazy eights and a letter of love, dropping the anchor with a breakthrough and the removal of the mask, okay? And not to be afraid of your feelings, right? So there could be letters between twins that one is afraid will get exposed when really there's no fear of exposure. So how could you ever be embarrassed by your truth? if somebody has a problem with that, that's their wound, not yours. If you're being completely authentic to yourself with love, how could love ever be wrong? Okay? So remember that, guys. Don't ever be embarrassed by your true heart. Okay, so we have to pull some cards here now for you, as it's 104, 54, and 55, which is the truth and the message out, and the 4 of the Emperor and the 1 of the Magician. At my clock, it's 12:50, which is the Hanging Man and the emotional fulfillment, the emotional fulfillment of Jesus Christ, which is Mary Magdalene. So here we go. We're going to pull from the Animal Spirit deck, of course, because we love this deck. And let's review that we pulled, or we rolled the die, and we have Libra, Neptune, and so Neptune of the sea, along with Pegasus, which is his sun. They're very different, right? Pegasus is in the air and fiery, flight. You know, it's like a Sagittarius energy in flight, whereas Neptune, or the Neptune energy of Poseidon, is very much of the water and the oceans and the deep blue sea. You can call me names and break my bones and drain me of all my water, but you can't beat me. And beat has to do with notes as well, notes of music, and scales of fish that swim in the waters in free-flowing motion, as opposed to being stuck in the mud. So here we have Neptune and Poseidon and Pegasus coming in. Lots of water, and the father and son relationship, with the mother pushing them to know thyself. Oh, what's that from the Ghosts? I don't know which movie it was, because there's so many, the 3 Ghosts movies. Know thyself. I think it was the Muppet movie. Know thyself better, man. Right? I forget which ghost it was. But know thyself better, man. I don't know if that's the exact line, but it's something like that. But it's know thyself. All right, that just came out. The Firefly. Know thyself, that you are the light. Such a sweet little bug there, the Firefly, which I will read you that one. Along with the wolf. The wolf is stunned. Look how neutralized they are. Because the Firefly, with all their light, neutralizes the polarity of the wolf, right? Because the wolf should be aggressive or leave, right? They don't usually just stay there stunned. But look at the colors of the pictures. They're both the same. They're both the same. The wolf is like, how could I have not seen this before? We're the same, you and me. You're the Firefly and I'm the wolf, but look, we're the same. I can't believe it. How did I not see this before? That's the energy I'm getting. And look at the symbolism, right? Because we have the air and the earth. The symbolism is the reflections of the same. 2 sides of the same coin coming together. Let's see what else is coming up here. The next 2 is the lizard and the bat. Right? The last 2 you'd see together. Right? Because you'd see the lizard during the day, but you only see the bats at night. Like day and night. The lizard and the bat. I'm getting Liz and Liza here. Is Liza Minnelli coming up for some reason? Right? Because she's Dorothy's daughter. It's making me cry. That's Judy coming through for Liza. I'm getting bat and ball. It's like Judy saying, I'm sorry, like that you were the one who got hit, I was the bat, you're the ball. But we go together like bat and ball. I'm getting, there's energy around Liz Taylor too, and then, and Diana Ross with Michael Jackson. And then we have the fish and the hyena. The fish never stops. And the hyena is always at a stop, right? He's so insecure, he has to live by making jokes about other people or, doing things funny at other people's expense, where the fish just keeps moving so they don't have to deal with any of that. And notice how in these two pictures, they're showing the crescent moon versus the full moon, half and half, right? For the hyena, it's always dark and light. But for the fish, they see the new, right? That they see the hope. And again, here's the energy of the fire and water, which normally, right, would cancel each other out. Or it could be fire and ice, which then make the water, which is actually the perfect place in the middle. But you're see the duality here that's coming up. Like, the hyena is ashamed that they couldn't see the fish for who they were. The bat's feeling badly for not believing the lizard was just like them, right? So, because here are Judy and Liza, both ended up spending their lives performing. Even though it's mother and daughter, it's still that kind of bond here. But I love this first initial example, right? How could I have not seen that we're the same before? And there's the phi of the expansion and contraction, and the wolf. And the wolf is the woe to the left, right? The feminine woe, the depression, the expanding and contracting. And this is the feminine teaching the divine masculine about the feminine, right? To find his own woe, to allow himself to grieve, to go to the left. And then here is the feminine shining her light, becoming more of the masculine, right? Being not afraid to, kind of take charge of the situation, but in a very sweet way, in expanding and contracting. So a really nice message there. By the way, the bottom of the deck here is, I have to show you the next two examples too. They're so funny because they totally bring out different combinations. So I want to show you those too. All right. So the bottom of the deck is the panther. So the jaguar also came up. They're very similar energies here, right? So again, they lay in wait. This is like the crocodile, with the eyes piercing out of the dark. They lay in wait very patiently, ready to pounce. The panther, the jaguar, and the crocodile coming up there, what's below them. And there's the very wise owl behind them up in the tree, right? He's up in the tree, he's down below, pounced, waiting. There's always a balance here, right? Because they're ready to aggress or be aggressive. And then here's the wise owl who just goes within to see the wisdom in this, to understand. And yet their eyes are very similar to each other. It's like they're two sides of the same coin too. Okay? So there's always something in each other that you can find the same. And then the next two cards that came out is the golden egg, which is the heart. And there is the Kundalini wrapping itself around the world. But you notice this snake energy also looks like your intestines, right? That they're never perfectly round. Sometimes they're too long, sometimes they're too short. Sometimes they have holes in them. Sometimes there's two ends, there's no beginning. Nothing is perfect, which is perfectly okay. But you see how there's the loop here, trying to go into a figure 8. This is the ring around the circle, ring around the rosy, where the color of the rainbow bridge already went into the earth to wake up the collective consciousness. But now that first circle has done their job, now it's time for the second circle of the 8 to form. You see that? This is the heart, and this is the becoming of the two hearts as one. It's really beautiful. This is like the twin energy, okay? And then we have the next two. I love this one too. The phoenix and the bee came out together, right? And I always tell you, the bees, they don't feel their worth. they work so hard, right? Because they have these tiny little wings holding their heavy body up like that. And yet here's their counterpart, the phoenix wings. Look at that. I love how this comes up, right? The bee is exuding all of this beauty of this is the twins too, because they're showing you this is the lack of worthiness. Look how hard you've always worked to send, this is the golden blue rays, right? The twins, the rod and staff golden blue rays. You are the healers, you are the speakers, you are the blue of the peace within and the emotions, right? It's the blue and gold that become the green, the heart. The blue is the throat chakra, the speaking of your truth, and the yellow of the confidence that surround the heart, the worthiness, right? But the bee doesn't necessarily have a lot of those lower chakra energies that allows them to survive on earth, right? Because we've never honored the upper chakras until now. It was always the lower chakras that were honored, right? The sex, the creativity, the stability of the home and family. It's not till now that we've honored this. So here's the phoenix rising, offering their wings to the bee to become what comes in the middle? The butterfly. How do you like that? So beautiful. All right, the last three combination I want to show you is the lion, the tarantula, and the elephant. They're actually a threesome here. They're both kings of the land, and they're fighting for the tarantula, which is very interesting there, right? This is the grid. This is coming up as the grid holders. And my title yesterday was about, right, well, the one who beats the Lion King wins, but the one who follows their path is free. And you see the elephant holding the flame. And then here is the web that brings us together, that weaves us together, the space between, right? Either space or a web. The web we weave. And I see how the little legs are pointing to one and the other? This is going to the lion, this one's going to the elephant. And this is the mediator, trying to bring them together, right? They're both leaders, but this one's very proud. This one's not proud at all. And this one's trying to find the middle ground between it all. Okay? You see how it matches the background of the lion? But yet, the colors match the flame and the third eye of the elephant. So the space between is matching the actual inner elephant, right? Because he's more spiritual. Whereas the lion is the king of the jungle. It matches the element of the spider here. So the spider is the bridge between, because they have, they get both sides and they're able to show them how they come together. So I love these definitions here. Very cool. The elephant has very big ears in which to hear and listen. And the lion, I'm looking at the lion card right now, and he's being humbled. But not humbled in a negative way like a child would react. It's being humbled as an old wise man would react. He's like, yes, I understand things that I should have done differently. Yes, I have a lot of pride, and I'm proud, and it has gotten in my way in life. He's thinking about it, right? Because look, the elephant hears and listens and is being patient, right? So he's not forcing his agenda on the lion, but because he steps back and just holds the light, he allows for the lion to come to these conclusions in his own time and space. Weaving the web between them. It takes time to create the web between them, to cross the lines, to cross the bridges. So let's go to the journey of love. That one took a bit. I will read the firefly to you, though, because that came out first. Remind me. I know sometimes I forget after I tell you I'm going to read it, and then I don't. But there's always a reason for everything. It's 1:04, which is also 10:04 on the clock right now. Message received. 1 is the magician, and 4 is the emperor, but it's also 10:04, which is the wheel of fortune. The magician embodiment that's destined for the emperor, or the stability to survive. in order to then hop to the next level, to graduate to the 8 of being able to manifest your dreams heaven on earth. All right, so for the twins from the journey of love, what is the message for you today? It was a very good read today, you guys. I wasn't expecting that, all that good stuff coming out. All right, let the feminine lead the way is 39, which is the Knight of Cups. The Knight of Cups. And I haven't been using my sage much lately, and I actually saged last night. So if you haven't saged in a while, you might want to try it. Don't forget to fill the space when you use sage. Make sure to invoke, that love and diamond light into the space that you create. So let the feminine lead the way of the 39. The Knight of Cups is about being love. And there is, again, the snake. Look, it's coming into the crazy 8 from the circle. Let the feminine lead the way in that. Okay, the 39 of just being love. And there's her inner beauty. She needs her beauty rest. I just told you I slept really late today. The 58 of the 4 of Swords is resting, taking a break, meditating, praying, and connecting in 5D. There's one more card here. The Guardian of the Soul family. Wait, there's a couple more cards. Hold on. That want to be seen. All right, that's done. The bottom of the deck, just so you know, is the Void. Okay. The 40 is the Page of Cups, the innocence of the child, the innocence of love. And behind that card is the Heart of God. Number 9 is the Hermit. Okay. The opening of the Heart of God, the 9 of the Hermit, and the child, the innocent one. All right. There's holes on both sides. One is the lower chakra energy leading to the heart, and here's the upper chakra energies leading to above the crown, to the white light. And beneath that is 3 to 1. Look at this. I love how they always come in these right orders here. Here's the bottom of the deck, okay? There is the 10 of the Wheel of Fortune, 3 to 1. 3 to 1 jump. Jump into the vortex that I just told you earlier that masculine was taking a quantum leap. And then here's the Heart of God of the Hermit, 10 to 9. So taking the energy back a step. And then jumping to the 40, which is the innocence of love. Right? So here, there are people in the vortex. And here is representation of the 2 parts of the human. The openness of the lower chakra to the heart, and then the openness of the upper chakras to the higher realms. The divine masculine and the divine feminine, the heart of God and the innocence of the child. And take a jump, take a leap of faith into the heart of God and to that innocent child. That is the burning hero that you are. So these 3 came up first, and it's very much the divine feminine, then coming into the vortex as the 3 to 1, but these are the guardians of the soul family, the 26 of the Page of Wands. So 2 pages coming up, the Page of Wands and the Page of Cups, which often come up as the masculine and the feminine. Right? That's that third energy that comes together. And then the next cards came up in a couple different piles. First came out Devotion to the Small, so there's the child again, the innocent one, the 32 of the journey of leading the way, bringing good news, and being devoted to the small. It's very simple. You don't have to make that complicated. And then we have the 33. We have 32 the 33, which is the Christ consciousness, the Christ energy of the 33, and standing up for oneself as God speaks. Standing up for the vulnerable, the child. And there is your cord to source, your connection to God, your higher self, as God speaks. And you see this is like the toroidal field. Here is the 0 point right here of the toroidal field, like the apple sides, the circles of the apple. And this is the quantum leap, when you cross from circle to circle, like the Q. That's the quantum leap. I've done drawings of that before, where you have a grid of circles, and we go around in patterns, but if you want to switch timelines, you have to quantum leap from circle to circle. So it's bringing up that same pattern here, where this is 0 point right here. That's where you have to cross circles. So God speaks regarding devotion to the child, to the small. And then these 2 came out together of Man of the Earth, Woman of the Sky, which is the 48 of walking away and within, when things are crazy turbulent here. And then the 64 of ending the pain and becoming the bliss, the sensual awakening that is. Okay, so even when it's the most turbulent here, and look at all these people in the walls of the cyclone, caught up in all of the crap, you can still soften it with love, even when it is very turbulent and out of your control, ending the pain of the bliss, okay? Going back to your heart, being present in the moment, walking away and within instead of staying in the chaos. It would be better to be here than here. And you see how it changes from this turbulence into this softer place where everything's smooth and flowing. Again, go into your God place, go within. Take that quantum leap, that leap of faith. Devotion to the small is about the vulnerable, which is the child within you as well. That's the journey of bringing good news and leading the way by example, by what you've learned about yourself, not from what others have told you. So those are all the cards coming up regarding the void and the underlying energy, and most of all, let the feminine lead the way of the Knight of Cups in being love. So we're going to read that for you as well as the Firefly first. Firefly is air, of course. Firefly, where'd you go? Firefly is inspired and fantastic, yet fleeting. The firefly contains the light of 1,000 stars. It's pure, radiant, and illuminating. This high-frequency charge cannot be sustained for long. Therefore, the firefly card indicates a moment of inspiration or awakening that quickly fades if we do not catch it. And again, you're being shown polarities, right? The extreme of the firefly and then the other extreme of the wolf being stunned, right? Because the wolf isn't usually paralyzed. They're usually leading the pack. So bringing them together is neutralizing into a parent who's not telling their child what to do anymore, right? Because this is the child, the child's light shines so bright, but they need to rein it in so that they don't get themselves hurt. They need to learn maturity in life, which is about the human growing into an adult. But they don't need to lose their spark, right? Their innocence, their creative abilities, their knowingness of who they are. There is a firefly energy behind every poem, song, and invention. Our job is to be ready to harness this creative spirit when it graces our path, which is our inner child. What can you do to support this precious and elusive light? So when they're in balance, they write, create, and have brainstorms. When they're out of balance, they feel burnt out and feel dull. To come back into balance, write a poem or draw. So that's the firefly advice, right? Because that illumination is fleeting. And then we have the let the feminine lead the way, which is 39. All right, the feminine principle in you, whether man or woman, is the way forward in your life right now. She is the principle of feeling and surrender. She feels the intelligence of the divine guiding light in a way that the masculine principle cannot at this time. You may not see where you're going, therefore, but you can feel your way. You can feel your way forward, which actually came up those exact words in the read. Trust her. Let your mind go and let your senses lead you, becoming more exquisite and communicative. Be led by your heart. Don't worry if you don't know all the details yet or how it's going to work out. She knows the way. Let her lead. This oracle brings confirmation to you that what you've been feeling or sensing, even without any logical physical evidence, is worth following up on, even if you don't understand it right at the time that you get it. Trust your senses over appearances. Trust your intuition over your intellect. You are letting feminine wisdom guide you, and she will steer you in the best direction. The poem reads, "My coming out is the freedom to fully be who I am, and the surrender to the divine essence expressing through and around me. My coming out is the marriage of twin souls with my life partner in gratitude and in love, unfolding as more than we could ever be on our own." And a deep breath. Drink your water, get your rest, get your joy, get your nature, or don't do any of it. Remember, it's always up to you. You always know best what's best for you. Okay? Take a deep breath. Be who you are. Just enjoy your day the best way you know how. And if you need to purge, purge. It's all good. It's all good. All the sides of it. It's all good. So rise and be love, you guys. I will see you soon. Have an amazing day. Bye.